blue PowerPuffs. Design code FZ8320-400. Let's dive into these things. First off, they came as a 3-pack. Powerpuff Girls. This here, I have my hands on the blue. Something neat that I haven't seen before, and specifically on a newer style custom dunk box, is that they did indeed put this pretty heavy duty piece of adhesive that does state that these are characters of the Cartoon Network. So then it comes with your cool Nike sticker, of course, with your SBs. I want to do a shout out to Subsect. I was blessed to win their raffle this time around. So I know they made different pairs, and so hopefully on the secondhand market I'll be able to get the other 2 colors. But I was lucky enough to win the blues. So this blue, so I've actually seen all 3 in person. I've got to lay hands on them. However, this review is just of the blue. They call them the bubbles because of the character in the TV series. Mind you, I don't watch the TV series. However, I think the shoe is absolutely stunning, beautiful, and I really enjoy when Nike does a collaboration and puts more than just a couple different color panels on and calls it a day. So let's talk about what makes this shoe unique. First off, look at that gaping eye. Each shoe has the same size eye, and they're both kind of just uniquely looking. And that, I think, is really clean, along with the patent leather swoosh. And the swoosh is very good quality. And then it has the same color laces. I believe in the other shoe there's an additional lace kit. So let me grab that. Let me verify the lace kit. Okay, so it does come with black laces too. So I could see a black and blue combo going potentially. So with these shoes, what's really nice and unique is this finish. So I'm going to relate it to a faux alligator, or a faux, maybe more of a faux snake skin with a shimmer on it. And if you can kind of see from the different angles, there are these little sheen spots all over, almost like little blotches. But when you actually look at it with the eye versus on the camera, the reflective properties come off very nice. And then what's really low-key and extra clean that people don't see right off the bat is the detail in the tongue. Let's talk about it. So outside of the beautiful paneling that they chose to go with for this design, this faux snakeskin texture with the extra bit of fleck looks phenomenal. Then going to the tongue, I think they do a wonderful job representing the spunk in each character. You know, it's a movie or TV show about action females and their mighty power. And so this right here just screams that to me, the texture on the tongue. And then also the tongue tag for whom character it represents in the series of 3, and then how they finish the interior with this very, very fine vinylish material, and it allows your foot to go in and out smooth with ease. The opposite of this would be the Yuri Hamagatus, and I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, but I'm doing my best. They had more of a little micro felt fiber in here where it actually gripped your foot a lot more. It made it harder to drop your foot into the footbed and pull it out, but for skateboarding that was perfect. So for a casual wear shoe, this is going to be pretty smooth. You can see in here, going back to the back of the tongue tag, why not? They just keep adding these little extra touches that I absolutely love. Then going to the footbeds, I just think this is another huge complimentary solid to the partnership. Everything about this shoe is different. And I'm not dissing a Travis Scott or anything like that at this point in time or period. But I will say Nike's came out with multiple colorways that have been very almost identical to some of the Scott releases. And I don't think you'll ever see this again. This kind of reminds me of the Dragon Ball Z series on steroids when Adidas did them. So I just want to do a quick shout out. Thank you to Nike for making this come true. And I hope I can get my hands on the other two colorways, because I think this would be a super sick set of 3 to own in size 13. So I am one of those Bigfoot boogie woogie mafia people, but us big footers gotta be footing around too. So this is a beautiful shoe. I would rank this probably a 7.8 overall. Quality, design, weight, just capture of the true integrity of the character, the branding behind the characters, and then how Nike did play on that throughout the entire design. And I can respect, outside of like a friends and family, us, common folk don't necessarily deserve a custom box. So for the naysayers that's saying, oh, it's just a plain box, well, who else? I mean, very few people they're doing custom paper for. And okay, there's more people they're doing custom paper for now, but still, look at the time they took in putting the battle faces in the correct position. So when you open the box, the unveiling, you actually get and feel that immersion. And that's part of the experience of owning and buying sneakers, is the packaging, the feel, and the care that goes into it. And I think Nike hit it on the head with these guys, and I'm super excited to review the other 2 colorways. So in case you're wondering, the bubbles are a win for me. I think this colorway is super solid, and it has legs to be one of the top 10 shoes of the year. And I think the collaboration could potentially be within the top 2 of the year, because the set collaboration, so I'm talking a set collaboration, is one of the better set collaborations. I will say DJ Khaled did a good job, but the level of detail that they took to add everything into these shoes to make them what they are, and the detail that they do, and the focus behind each character and each shoe, why they're different, and why they're called what they are, and why they represent what they do, I think is super important to what they did and how Nike did it. So Nike, keep up the good work, guys. These are my personal favorites, and these are going to be the pink, and these are the Blossoms, I believe. I haven't seen the TV show in a while, so we're going to, don't quote me on that, but we're going to dive in. So the style code on these is FD2631600, and let's dive in. So first we have the beautiful SB box. This is the new limited box that they're rolling with, and as you can see, similar to the other boxes in review, we have a recycled corrugate box that has a painted and laminated exterior. Same sort of tabbing. This box unfortunately ripped at the seam here. Unfortunately, my kiddos got to it and they grabbed it a little too aggressively. But hey, when you got sneaks, that's what happens, and that's life. So this box also includes the adhesive sticker, and I still am perplexed at how well this sticker sticks. You can even see they must be roll applicating this, because it's nearly impossible to take your finger and scrape off. And then you can see where it actually contours to the corrugate ridging down below. So I have a strong belief that this has to be utilizing some pressure at minimum, and we're talking next to zero material there, which I think is speaking towards the net carbon neutral packaging and material that Nike's trying to go with. So without ado, this is my favorite of the three, and I'll go into detail why. But first we're going to dive into the box. So the paper unwrapping. So when I got the first pair, I was excited, and now since I've had the second two pairs come in, I've just been elated. And since I've been having my hands on each single pair, I can really understand the quality differences and appreciate each design. So this PowerPuff here, this Blossom, I'm going to open up. We got the double PowerPuff rolling in again. We have our Nike SB sticker. Thank you. They didn't always put those in. I think it's just a nice, every once in a while they'll have these, and yeah, we like to support the brand, and obviously they like to support us with coming out with kick-ass designs instead of keeping up with the norm. So these are my favorite. From just looking in at them, they reek something out of Mario, in my opinion. They look like I'm going to rescue Princess Peach. I'm riding on the back of Yoshi, and we're gobbling down minions left and right with these bad boys. So let's talk about these. So I personally like the exterior of these. So they're using a nuckbuck style leather, and it has a premium or suede, whatever you want to call faux, this finish. It absolutely reeks quality. So as where we discussed in the previous shoes, the bubbles, they had a unique kind of like a lace style structure, like a thick lace feeling, and then they actually had micro bubbles put into it with glitter circles throughout the shoes spackled. And then the greens had the hues of the deep rich green, and it was more of like a vinyl shiny-ish material. Now these low-key are pretty sleeper, because the finish also, you still can feel the quality of the material, but the way, I don't know if they lacquered it or how they did the final finish, but you can see those little sways everywhere. So it hasn't been dunked in water or anything, but that's literally stridations on the shoe. And they're utilizing the same textured panels throughout the entire shoe, outside of the, well, actually, they might be using the same material. Okay, it looks like just the tongue and then the swoosh are going to be different materials, and of course the heart. So another real main reason outside of the quality of the finish is the little attentions to detail. So if you notice, none of the other tongues had a tongue marker. This is just that extra little rider that I love. And just like the greens, how we talked about, the trim pieces had multiple colors on them depending on where you looked at them. This here is just a little extra, in my opinion, with the shoe. So this also has a color changing back material. However, it doesn't accentuate as much, and it stays green, and it doesn't actually move like the other color changing backing. So the swoosh is good caliber. It's similar to what you would see in like a Halloween edition swoosh. Going to the back end, I love these little details, and you can see how clean that is. A little eyeball, and you can see the eyeballs, if you look at the videos, are in different positions on each shoe. So this shoe also has a very nice ice pink sole, and it is a solid pink resin sole. So as where you saw with the green fade, this one actually has a clear pink sole, and then it has the this is kind of strange, it has the OG Nike SB orange for the middle panel. They probably should have rethought that. That, what I would say, is the only con to this shoe, is that's so standard, and it doesn't look good. I can understand you're trying to tie this with this, but it just, when you got 3 different colors of orange here, and I know my Pantone, this is not the same orange as this. These laces might be the same orange as this, but even then, guys, Nike, step up your game. You don't want 3 different colors of oranges on one fucking shoe. 4. So now going to the tongue. I absolutely love this tongue, and the reasoning is that you can see quite a bit more depth in it than the other varieties. Because of the color, it just naturally pops on the eyes a little bit more, and so you can see the Powerpuff Girls. And so I think this tongue, from an exterior look, is fantastic. And then it also has a wonderful sheen on it. So now we'll go inside the tongue, and you can see the traditional SB logo, and we got a kick-ass PowerPuffs logo. And then we'll into the sneakers. And this is going to be my favorite inner tongue. Just the basket of joy. And you can even see how it went over some of the writing. I just think that is pretty darn cool to make something that custom. And then the footbeds are custom as well. Super, super, super cool. So overall, the interior of these are going to be the same complex. They're gonna be a little slick. You're going to want to wear a thicker sock, a more grippy sock, or if you're used to sliding around a little bit, you shouldn't have a problem. I'm going to make mention to the Yoki Hamadores. I pronounced it wrong again, forgive me. A world-class athlete. His SB Dunks would be the exact opposite interior-wise, where you stick your hand in and the felt material actually wants to grab it and pull it in more almost. This material allows your sock to free flow a little bit more, and when you're doing some flip tricks or you're looking for some really good heel rigidity and you can't have that heel movement, these will be a little bit more challenging unless you're wearing, like I said, a thicker walled or a more grabby sock. So keep that in mind when skating these. They skate well, but I would say unfortunately they look better than they skate due to the inner liner. I think that's one of the main things that the designers have to be cognizant about. So this one, because of the material, I can feel the greens are definitely the heaviest, the blues are the lightest, and then these pinks rank right in the middle. And I would say they're about 8 ounces heavier than a normal dunk. That's probably due to the thickness of the materials, but however, it's all relative. If you plan to skate these, you're going to want a lightweight dunk. You're going to want a grippy interior. Well, I'm going to take all that back. It all depends on your skate style. Skate, have fun, enjoy life. I hope this review was helpful, and I hope this allows you better information to select which one of the PowerPuffs, or if you can afford all three, more the merry to you. So have a blessed day. These ones, the style code's going to be FZ8319-300, and these ones are going to be the green PowerPuffs, and let's go at it. So first, Fire SB box, of course. This is the new style, looking good. And as we open it, you can see before Cartoon Network did their adhesive apply. This is not coming off of the material. This does appear to be recycled corrugate, at least to an extent. And then we have a pretty good exterior, but you can still see the paneling from the corrugate wall beneath it. So going into the box, you're gonna get your classic SB sticker. Let's put that aside, bam. Now the paper. This is absolutely fire. It shows each PowerPuff, and this is kind of, in my opinion, what really makes these little packages. I remember when I unboxed the Stranger Things shoes, and it was a newspaper, and it absolutely blew me away. And I just was enthralled by it. So I love attention to detail, and I think this reeks detail. The focus that they put on the characters and how you open the bag. So first, when you open the box, then to get to the shoes, you're gonna actually open up this one, this mean little PowerPuff, pop, looking at you, and then you're gonna go straight to the next PowerPuff. And I just think this is very complimentary of the overall unboxing experience, because like I go back to, the unboxing is half of the overall purchasing experience. And it's really nice to get good quality packaging when you're spending a premium or retail on sneakers. You try to look for those little things. So here we have the green PowerPuff way. So this PowerPuff colorway is going to be Buttercup, and this is quite a sheen on it. So I'd say this is more of a textured, rigid satin material. Definitely not leather. Well, if it is leather, it's been coated multiple times. The sheen value is equal around the entire shoe. As we saw with the Buttercups, they were actually blotches slightly of color that allowed it to pop. And so this shoe, we're going to go now to talking about the sidewalls and side panels. They're going to be the same type of texture. The only difference in texture we have the tongue. Okay. So everything on here is going to be the same paneling wise, outside of the tongue here, which we'll talk about in a minute, and then this little side skirt here. They used ever so slightly a different piece of material that has a little bit more of a sheen complex value to it, and then maybe potentially it feels like more water resistant value. Definitely more like a lamb type coating on this little piece here. And then you can see the color is just slightly more opaque than the shoe. And it is the same on this side. And then the swoosh, this swoosh actually feels about identical to the black SBs that have been dropping on a regular basis, but this back trim piece here is actually, if you look at it right there, you can see in different lights, it actually shines as different color. And so if you're following me, you'll see this accent color. We have a beautiful purple. Then coming down through here, just because of the angle, we have a nice deep blue. And then you can see even a darker blue through here of the trim. And then as I rotate my light around, you can see it's almost getting black. And then back to pink. And then you can get some little ultraviolet flares there too, right there. So I think that's pretty cool. You know, it's a very low-key, hidden, subtle feature, but those are the things that make sneaks nowadays, because there's a dime a dozen of the mochas, the colorways that have slight deviations. Even, you know, some of the rarest and most coveted shoes are essentially just colorways with a modified tongue tag or a glorified heel tag. They actually did this series a good solid, and so each one of these shoes represents the character's personality in a very fashionable way. So now we're going to go to the tongue. They come with 2 laces. I would probably swap the laces out, and so the second pair of laces you can see is that green, and I would be a customer to probably do green on green. People can comment, you know, your opinion, but I'm thinking green on green would be the most fire. So with the tongue piece here, you can see the depth of the personality of it. It just talks everything PowerPuff. And then this is the other material difference, as I made mention. So you can see this is more of a coarse style fabric, and it's kind of hard to describe, but the PowerPuff logos are actually upraised, and so they're not going to just wear away. And then you can see this tongue tag on the front, super sick, representative hyper of the collaboration. And then we're going to go to the back, and you can see that this tag is different. And then I'm going to grab this one as well, because each one of them has its own tag, which I think just shows extra heritage. And so I think what's unique is each one has their own stamp inside based upon their character theme. And as you can see, the insoles are customary to the branding of the sneaker. So the interior of these shoes are actually a rather slick vinylish type material, and I've seen this this material was really popular back in, like, if you ever remember the 6.0s, they were more of a BMX style shoe. This is what a lot of them had in it. They're good if you have a grippy sock, but if you don't have a sock that grips well, or if you don't wear a thicker sock, and your feet don't fit the walls of the shoe well, then you're going to have a little bit of slippage here. And as I referenced in the previous video, the Yoki Hamadori, and I pronounce that wrong every time, but I'm sorry, but those are the exact opposite to this, where they have the inner lining felt style material that actually will grab at any sort of sock. And the tongue thickness here is going to be the same as all SBs, in my opinion. There has been a few deviations throughout the launches, but not this launch of PowerPuffs, I think, are representative of the SB. The only thing that I would state is different about the PowerPuff series is they probably weigh another 10 ounces or so, and that's each shoe. So keep that in mind when walking around. And that is a